Good afternoon, Walt Cybermera. Just came back from my shift at Dinty's. Fucking tired. I got a ride. I walked to work today, but I got a ride. Yeah. The guy who works at Dinty's, he gave me a ride to the gas station. I was gonna walk from there, but he offered to drive me home. I said, no, it's okay, I can walk. And I walked home from the gas station. I didn't have to walk from Dinty's. I was fucking tired. I'm eating scrambled eggs with toast and butter, right? I make amazing scrambled eggs. What's the key to making amazing scrambled eggs? Fry your eggs with butter or margarine. Butter is better than margarine. Margarine is like a cheap version of butter, but fry your eggs with butter or margarine. Don't make it with oil. No. Make it with butter or margarine, and your eggs will taste better. It doesn't hurt to put a little bit of salt on it, put a little bit of garlic powder on it, and you'll make amazing eggs. Yeah. Your check coming, Ivan? No, not today. I think it's coming in either tomorrow or Friday. Well, I'm cleaning the house again for money, so I have money to get my smokes. Yeah. I'm cleaning the walls, not the house. I already cleaned the house. Like last Friday, I cleaned the entire house. Yesterday, I cleaned the walls for $20. Today, I'll probably clean the walls for maybe $15, $20 and get myself my smokes out there right. We work on their unique today, Ivan. Yes, I will. I'll work on their unique maybe tonight. After I clean the walls, I'll walk to the store, get my stuff. Obviously, and then when I ride back home, I'll work on their unique, and then I'll type it. I'm not showing you any guys anymore what I would on their unique. I almost post over even. Yeah. Ivan, why's your camera bad? Because I'm charging my phone. And try to position it better, but I mean, that's a bit better, right? Wait, that's a bit better. Yeah, that's better. I'm not saying this, well, you better enjoy these Sabbaths versus why so can, right? I'm not gonna be saying that, man. Because I'm not making rules for you when I'm getting. I'm being serious when I say that. I'm not gonna have you guys do that, man. I don't get paid for this shit. There you go. You guys are trying to watch. You see how Ivan watches himself. You think I'm gonna let you do my after what you put me in VJ to your what you put me in VJ through? You're fucking crazy. I'm not gonna have you guys do my that. I'm sorry, yeah. Don't hang them, son, yeah. These eggs are so good. Did you get your Chinese food, Ivan? Yeah, I got my Chinese food. My Chinese food's here. Only thing this is missing is bacon and sausage. And like fried potato with onions. That's amazing. I'm gonna have it for my buffet. I'm gonna have fried potatoes with sauteed onions on the side, sausage, bacon, yeah, with the scrambled eggs. My buffet for my movie. Yeah. When you have just scrambled eggs, no, I'll have scrambled on the sunny side. You either have a choice of eating scrambled or sunny side eggs. Yeah. My buffet will be top notch. Yeah. This guy's just boil the water. Yeah. I have two smokes, that's it. I save two smokes for home, and that's it. I have to rely on my stepmother to pay me money when I clean the house, right? Clean the walls, not the house, the walls. I hope my check comes in tomorrow. Oh, it didn't come in today, but I hope it comes in tomorrow. Ivan, show us more Zanus. No, guys. Well, I mean no. I actually mean no this time. I'm not showing anymore. I already showed you too many. Yeah, Ivan. Yeah, I showed you too many snippets. Enough's enough. I already spoiled a little bit of Vine 1 too, but I don't want to spoil Sophie, man. You guys have an idea who the spies are. I'm not going to tell you who the spies are. I'm going to let you get your information from what you've read. I don't want to spoil the story for you. See. Well, you guys don't really know what's going on because you didn't read it consistently. I'm jumping all over the place, but you guys obviously have an idea of what's going on. Because I told you a general idea of what Volume 1 and 2 are about, obviously. My last one was in his book, right? Do you think Larry Nick will beat Zanus? No, it won't. It will not beat Zanus. No book that I write will ever beat Zanus. Zanus is an epic fantasy adventure. It's a masterpiece. I can never top that. But because I'm a genius and I have the gift of God, don't hate those, and I can, well, whatever I write down, chances are they'll be masterpieces. But not Zanus. That's my point, right? I can't top that. Yeah. Not Zanus. I can't top that, Sarah. Yeah. Yeah. That's why the game's going to show you Brand Ivan, because Zanus is money. Were you guys hooked? Why I show you? I say, yeah, I was hooked. Yeah, the scene right after that's a big scene in that chapter. Obviously. Ivan, did you show us any big scenes of Young Tactius? Yeah, I did. The part when Tactius is like, you mean monsters, cousin. Well, that's not really a big scene. And the scene when Tactius, shut your mouth, Tactius, son of Tactius, because that's a big scene in my book. I showed you maybe two big scenes in my book for young Tactius, but there's a few other big scenes I didn't show you. I don't want to spoil so for you. I told you, Tactius, young Tactius is one of my weaker chapters. It's one of my weaker chapters in my book, obviously, but I'm not showing you guys anymore. I don't want to spoil so for you, man. I don't want to spoil so for you guys. I'm not showing you anymore. And I'm not showing you any more there either. Today, whatever I write down, I'm not showing you it. I'll write 2 pages today. Then my goal is to write 2 pages every day until this Sunday. And then by this Sunday, I should finish their unique chapter 1, the small town. Then chapter 2 is meeting Josh at the Elmer Marina beach party. That's chapter 2. Obviously, by the end of this week, I should finish chapter 1. Then once I finish chapter 1, I can show you maybe another scene from chapter 1, and that's it. I don't want to spoil story, obviously. I know you guys are more interested in Zanus. Yeah, I want to see more of Zanus, man. Zanus is a better novel. Yeah, Zanus is better than their unique. Their unique is amazing too, obviously. Ivan, is Zanus more plot driven or character driven? Plot driven. Zanus is obviously more plot driven than character driven. The characters are good. The characters are amazing in Zanus, but when you read Zanus, it's clearly more a plot driven story. It's a commercial epic fantasy is all plot driven. Like Game of Thrones, Way of Kings, even Lord of the Rings, it's all plot driven. The big like commercial like big books are more plot heavy than they are character heavy, obviously. Whereas the more niche markets are the character driven books, the more boring books, right? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't know. You saying character driven books are more boring? Yeah, they are. Character driven books with not much plot in it is that equals boring. Obviously, the best way to get them to write an amazing book is you have that balance of amazing characters. But in my opinion, if you really want your book to sell, have it be more plot driven for fantasy, but doesn't hurt to develop your characters pretty well too. Have it be a little bit character driven too. Your characters are very important, but plot driven stories is what sells, man. And Zanus is more plot driven than character driven when you read it. And their unique is obviously more plot driven too than character driven when you read it. As you guys read, it's more of a plot driven story. Because I know what I'm doing. Plot driven stories is what sells. Sarah? Commercial plot driven stories sells, man. That's just the truth. Whereas character driven books, they could sell. You know what I'm saying? Character driven books can make a lot of money too, but you have to have quite a bit of plot in it, like entertaining plot. And if your book's heavily character driven, and you have very little plot, you have a bad plot, then it's a boring book, obviously. And chances are your book won't sell a lot of copies. The best way is to have the balance of character and plot, but it's very tough to do both. Chances are you lean into one direction or you lean into the other direction. But Zanus is the book where you kind of get the balance with character and plot. But even then, the characters in Zanus are developed well. As Tactius has an amazing arc, but when you read Zanus, it's clearly more plot driven than it is character driven. You guys know what I'm saying? It's more plot driven than character driven when you read Zanus. As you guys read, it's a commercial epic fantasy tale, right? Fantasy story. You guys know what I'm saying? I was just saying, yeah. Yeah. Give me a sec, guys. I'm gonna go upstairs and make some coffee myself. Back in a sec. Man, that scrambled eggs was really good. Yeah. That was really good food. That's good for me. I have my Dinty's food, so I'll eat that later tonight. I have my Dinty's food right there. Get my coffee, guys. Don't hate him, son. guys. Sorry for the long wait. Now I was just to get my coffee. And I had to take a leak. Yeah, this video won't be long. I'll talk for maybe, I don't know, 45, 50 minutes. That's good enough for you guys. But what I might do is I might just start my cleaning now. While I'm on the video, I'm going to start doing my cleaning that way. I get it over with, right? Yeah. How much money you get for it, Ivan? I might get 15 or maybe 20. Yesterday I got $20. Today I actually might give me another $20. I can get a pack of smokes and a 40 like yesterday, obviously. Yeah. Yeah. Well, if it shows Volume 3, no, guys. I'm not showing you Volume 3. I don't want to spoil story, man. Yeah. The guy who drove me, who works at Dinty's, obviously, he's a Game of Thrones fan. He told me he read the Game of Thrones books 10 times. Yeah. And he talked about how, like, George R. Martin is, like, the worst author ever. He can't finish his book. Yeah, that's fucking, I know. My bad. My phone fell, guys. He really told you that, Ivan? Yeah, he did. Yeah, George R. Martin is, like, the worst author ever. Because he can't finish his series. Yeah, that's a problem, George, man. A lot of the fans who love your series are waiting for you to finish your series, but you're not. You haven't given any updated news in like 13 years, man. More than a decade, man. And I believe because he has a writer's block, obviously. That's my answer. Yeah. If he has a plausible answer, Ivan, yeah. George R. Martin obviously has a writer's block. My phone, man. It's not charging. Give me a sec here. Okay. That's good. Yeah, he was a Game of Thrones fan. Yeah. He told me how he read, like, the 5 books. Yeah, I read it, like, 10 times, Ivan. I'm like, 10 times? Like, yeah. He's like, I love Game of Thrones. He's a Game of Thrones fan. One of the guys who works at Dinty's who gave me a ride. He's a guy, he's one of the worst authors ever, man. He hasn't released his next book. Yeah, the fans are all waiting for George R. Martin to finish his series, but George R. Martin hasn't finished it yet. Ivan, I'm trying, man. I'm stuck. Well, if you're stuck, George, if you have writer's block, get someone to help you, man. You have to let go of your ego. You have to get someone to help you, or just do the best you can and just get it done. Even if it's not as good as your previous 5, if it's pretty good, at least you can say you finished your series, man, before you pass away. I don't know, in 20 years, George. 20 years from now, he passes away. You got what I'm saying? Yeah. There's nothing worse as going down as the author who wrote his amazing Game of Thrones series, and like you pass away in like 20 years and he didn't finish the series, man. That's what everyone, yeah, even though George is a legend, he didn't finish his own series. Like, that's why I'm talking to you, George. You gotta get your series done, man. You gotta get done. Like, it's one thing to wait 5 years, but to wait like over 10 years for your next book to come out, that's unacceptable. Sarah? That's unacceptable, man. Yeah. You think George just could be lazy? That could be a reason. George made his tens of millions off his IP from the show from his book royalties, the show money. He made money for the show. He made a lot of his tens of millions off his books, off his the show and other stuff. He might just want to enjoy the fruits of his labor. Yeah, I'm getting old. I just want to enjoy my millions. I don't feel like working on Winds of Winter. That could be a reason. Or he is working on it, but he's stuck. He has writer's block. But I believe it's most likely the first reason, obviously. He has writer's block, obviously. Because he did write 2 books after Dance with Dragons. So if George had the time to write those books, he obviously has the time to write Winds of Winter, even if he's preoccupied doing the other stuff. He obviously has the time to write Winds of Winter. That's my answer. But he's stuck. He has writer's block. He can't finish his series. That'll be my answer about George R. Martin. He can't finish his series. Got some Sarah. Yeah. My stepfather's here. Yeah. What are you gonna do after this, Ivan? I'm gonna start cleaning the walls upstairs. Yeah. I need the money so I can get my smokes. Obviously. When I arrive back, I'll enjoy the show after you guys. I'm only gonna make like a 45-minute video. I'll watch this video. Then after I watch the video, I'm going to work on their unique. I'll write 2 pages on my notebook. I now have my notebook. I can write their unique on it. And then yeah. Yeah. I think there'll be some fans who like Game of Thrones better than Zanus. Yes, I read over Game of Thrones, the prologue. It's amazing. I read the first page of it. I was pretty hooked reading it. I'm like, yeah, this is a sick book, man. I'm like, yeah, I won't be surprised if some fans like Game of Thrones better than my book. Game of Thrones is an amazing book. Man, I read the beginning of the prologue, obviously, from the first book, Game of Thrones. Amazing shit. But I'm still more entertained reading my book when I compare, obviously. My book is more entertaining. The characters jump on a page more. Game of Thrones, the characters jump on a page quite a little bit too, but not like my book. My book, the characters just come alive on the page when you read it, man. It's more entertaining both than Game of Thrones. obviously. But Game of Thrones, when I read it, it felt more fresh than Lord of the Rings. When I read it, I read the prologue. Like the prologue of Game of Thrones was better than the god awful prologue of Fellowship of the Ring. Because Fellowship of the Ring, the prologue about the hobbits is very boring. That's awful, obviously. The prologue of Fellowship of the Ring was bad, obviously, with the races of hobbits and everything. Very, very boring. Was the prologue of Game of Thrones I enjoyed more than the prologue of Fellowship of the Ring. But I did not read the book. I read Fellowship of the Ring. I did not read Game of Thrones yet, obviously. But I might purchase the book and read it. Yeah. Purchase the first book. The first book is called Game of Thrones. I might purchase it and I might read it. Maybe when I get my check, I might purchase it on Amazon and read. I want to read Game of Thrones myself and read it, man. See how good the book really is. Because a lot of fans do go back and forth with Lord of the Rings and Game of Thrones. They say like George R. R. Martin writes better characters, but Jared Tolkien's world building jumps up more than Game of Thrones, which I'll probably agree. From what I've read from the prologue, Game of Thrones, from what I've read from the prologue, the characters are obviously better than Lord of the Rings, but Lord of the Rings, the world is more magical because Jared Tolkien's world building cannot be beat, man. You can't beat that, man. That world building is just too good. Obviously, guys, I'm sorry. Yeah, almost under that. I'll talk for maybe 40 minutes. That's good enough. Yeah. And that guy was a fan. Yeah, the guy who works at Dinty's, who gave me a ride, he's a huge game. Ivan, I love Game of Thrones. I read the series 10 times, Ivan. I'm like, you read it 10 times? Yeah, I read it 10 times. Yeah. He's like, I love Game of Thrones. He's like, yeah, he's like George R. R. Martin is like the worst author ever, man. He hasn't even finished his series. He told me that. That's actually funny. That's funny, I know. Yeah, Ryan, to be fair, it took you like 8 years to finish Zanus. Yeah, but I didn't publish my book yet. So there's context. And at the time, I didn't know the doors were locked on me. Zanus, when I wrote Zanus, I kind of did it for fun. Like, I did want to get it published, but when I wrote Zanus, it was kind of for fun. And then once I found out that the doors were locked on me, I'm like, okay, Ivan, you got to finish the series. But I did not publish Zanus yet. See, it's a different story if it takes you 8 years to write a book and you haven't published it yet, compared to when you publish a series and the fans love your series and now they wait like 10 plus years for the next book to come out. You got what I'm saying? I was just saying, yeah. If I was a full-time author, I'd be releasing books at least every 3 years. Every 2.5 to 3 years. 3 years, every 3 years I'll be releasing books. Not like every year, not every like year and a half like Stephen King. Like Stephen King releases books like every 2 years, whatever it is. I'd probably be releasing books every 3 years if I was a full-time self-published author from Sarah. Which I'm not going to be, guys. My dream is not being an author. It's being a movie star feature from Sarah. Like, if you think for 1 second I'm gonna pass up being a famous movie star instead of being a famous author, you're crazy. Like, being a famous author is cool, but it's not as cool as being a famous movie star. Being a famous movie star is much better than being a famous author. Like, duh. Especially big budget movies like Transformers, Lord of the Rings. Yeah, it's fucking cool being a movie star. With BJ right now. Yeah. Almost under, guys. I'll talk for like 5 minutes a minute. This video will be long, 40 minutes, I'm done. Why? I mean, don't make long videos anymore. Nah, guys, I'm tired, man. I don't get paid for this. And you fucking deserve it. There you go. You act like I can watch myself, and I don't get paid for this. I'm not gonna make 1 hour, 40-minute videos anymore, man. there you go. You got what you deserve. Don't hate him, son. Yeah. And if I did want to be a full time author, Victoria Justice would support me. Ivan, you don't want to sell entertainment? No, VJ, I just want to write books. And VJ would be like, okay, Ivan, I support you. Do you want to write books, VJ? Nah, Ivan, I want to do. VJ will do music, obviously. That would be her choice, obviously. Yeah, Ivan, you can write your books in your yacht. Writing books is way more slack than being a movie star, though. I only have to dedicate every year. Every year, I write like I don't know. One year, I dedicate 5 pages a day. It takes me like 2 hours. I type on my laptop. It takes me 3 hours. I get the rest of the day off. In 6, 7 months, I finish the book and I edit it, and it's ready to be released on Lulu. I take maybe 4 months off. I write the book, but it's more boring. That's my point. I'm not going to be a full time author, guys. My dreams being a movie star. BJ is not being an author. VJ will tell me, Ivan, you're crazy, man. You'd rather be a full time author than be a movie star with me? Are you crazy, Ivan? I'm like, no, VJ, I want to be a movie star with you. I don't want to write books. Writing, I want to do both because I don't have time to do both. I don't want to be stressed out. After I do making a movie is blessing one tears. After I do Zane's, I just want to enjoy, take like 6 months off, 6 months off, and enjoy myself with VJ. And we do the next movie, The Great Escape with Keanu Reeves. Sarah. Yeah. I get paper money for movies too, by the way, because movies you sell merch and all that stuff, right? Yeah. I make way more money from movies than I do books. Books, I'll still make my billions, but not the kind of money I make off my movies, obviously. Well, I'm making around the same amount of money for books too, right? Yeah. Because if I write Very Unique and Zane's, I'll be pulling in my 30 to even 40, $45 billion, maybe even $50 billion. I might make off the 2 books. 40 billion maybe, 35 billion off the 2 books. 30 billion maybe. Don't forget, Very Unique is cheaper than Zane's. I'm only going to sell the ebook for maybe $15. Very Unique. And the book for maybe $60. For the print, obviously, for Very Unique. I have to because Lulu printing costs are very expensive. If the printing costs were cheaper, I wouldn't charge you guys 80, $60 for the book. No, I charge you maybe 45 for the book. Because printing costs for Lulu is very expensive, I have to charge more. That way I make profit. And Zanus is worth $80, and it's the greatest fantasy. It's quality art. It's the greatest fantasy novel you're ever going to read in your life. And crossing my fingers, Very Unique will be a masterpiece. But I told you, if I fuck up and I mess up with the story, I'll let you guys know. I'm not going to release Very Unique, obviously. So once I finish the book, I'm not satisfied with it. With Very Unique, I won't release it to the public, obviously. I'll let you guys know. But what I will do is I'll have to go back and edit it, obviously. Okay, the book is not good. I have to go back and make some changes. I have to go back and do some developmental editing for the story if I'm not satisfied with what I wrote for Very Unique. But so far, what I've written, I like it. I read over it yesterday. I was hooked reading it. I'm like, this is fucking sick. Yeah, it's a sick book, obviously. It's not Zanus. That's my point, right? Very Unique is not Zanus. Yeah. It'll never be Zanus. Yeah, I mean, how do you do it, man? Like, even you're Very Unique, I get a different feeling, man. Like, I'm hooked reading that, too. Yeah, no, I have the heavenly gift, guys. God gave me the gift. I just cross my fingers the book is good, man. Because I have that fear. Maybe I lost my touch as a writer. Because Zanus is so good, I can never top that. Which is true. I can never top Zanus, but hopefully Very Unique is also quality art. Because I don't want to sell a shitty book. Even though I'm going to make money off it, I don't want to sell a shitty book and the fans hate my book, man. Yeah, I made all this money, but the fans didn't like my book. I'll be crushed, man. I have self-esteem issues. If the fans don't like my very unique book, I'll be heartbroken and I'll be crushed. So I'm gonna go over the book, and if I don't like it, nah, I won't release it, or I have to go back and edit it. I'll most likely go back and just fix it up. I have to really go back and do some developmental editing in my story, obviously. If it's not good, obviously. But so far, what I've showed you, is it good? Yeah, it's amazing, man. It's not Zane's, but it's fucking entertaining shit. Yes, it is. Got the keys? No, I'm saying I'm now sick. I'm saying, yeah. Did you forget to set the alarm? Setting the alarm, setting it now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Got some Sarah? Oh, Ivan, at least show us what you wrote down for the unique. No, guys, I'm not going to show you that what I wrote down for the unique. You know what? What I can do for the unique, I can show you what I wrote down for everything. I can show you a sneak preview of all of chapter one for their unique, but not all the other chapters after that. I'm only going to show you maybe 2 scenes. I can do that for you guys. So you guys are going to get a sneak peek of my entire chapter one for their unique. All I want you have for Zane's. No, Zane's is special. I don't want to spoil the story. Zane's, I'm not doing that. I'm not showing you more of Zane's. But I could do a thing where I give you guys a sneak preview of my whole chapter one. Every time I write it down, I show you what I wrote until I finish the chapter. Obviously, so I could show you what I wrote down, what I will write down today for their unique. But Zane's, I'm done. I'm not showing you what I won't spoil the story for you. Sorry. Yeah. So I hope you guys are impressed with what I showed you for Zane's. Yeah, I weren't impressed with that yet. I hope you guys are impressed with what I showed you for their unique, obviously. Crossing my fingers, I hope their unique is good. I hope their unique is good, obviously. Yeah. I'm sorry. Anyways, this is it for this video, guys. I'm going to cut this short. It's only going to be a 40-minute video. I hope you guys know this show. I'll most likely make a video later on tonight around, I don't know, 7, 8 o'clock. Once I get my stuff and everything, and after I work on their unique, and I'll show you still as I will never their unique. This is our man, I'm saying, peace. I'm going to clean the walls. Peace out, guys. So, hey, I'm saying, peace.